Welcome to this new episode of The Disabled Life. The purpose of this podcast is to tell people how I live my life. The name I'm using on the podcast now is The Disabled Guy, because I felt that you needed to hear something as opposed to just my voice there. I'm a disabled male living in Florida with cerebral palsy. I'm here to tell you how I live my life and some of the volunteer work that I do and how I managed to do it with cerebral palsy. Without further ado, let's go into the episode. Well, here's another one that I didn't plan to do. I had, on last Thursday, I went over to an urgent care because I felt sick with COVID, for those of you that don't remember. Well, I'm going to talk to you about the experience now with COVID and everything the way it was done this time. Okay, the first time that I had COVID, it was about a year ago or a little more than a year ago. So I called my doctor and she runs a stat lab test, which was like, okay. But for no fault of their own, it took them a week to get the lab results from the lab. I will not name the lab. So this time I went and I had I went to a park because the health department called my mom and told her that she was positive that we needed to retest. So I went and I got tested at the park. I called my doctor and I told them, hey, this happened and I don't know. So she said, I asked them if they had if they could send somebody to my house. She said no, and she told me where to go to a park. So I went to the park, but before I went, she told me to send the lab results to them. I'm like, oh God, okay. So I get a negative result. I leave everything alone the way it is. I don't send anything because they said if it's negative, don't send it. Okay. About a day later, I started feeling sick, coughing, all those things. And don't forget, I had cough when I went there. So, okay. So I'm like, this is terrible. This is bad. So I'm like, I got sick. That night, I got a fever. So I broke the fever with an aspirin, but I was like, oh God, here we go. So I got on my computer here, and I looked up urgent care. So I said, okay, I looked up to make sure the phone number for the urgent care that I had locally here called MD Now. Okay, so I call in the morning. I find out before the morning I had checked that they had doing COVID tests and all these things. So I'm like, okay. So I call in the morning and I don't realize it, but it's a national number. When you call that, it just turns into a national 800 number, which is fine. No problem, because, okay. So I asked the gentleman that answered, do you take Medicare, the white and blue card? He goes, yes. Do all of them take it? Yes. One thing that my mom, bless her heart, she made me call twice because I knew the answer from the website, but she's old school, old fashioned, so she wouldn't. So I had to ask another person, whether they had COVID tests, whatever. Okay. So I went there that same day. No appointments, which I was happy about. No appointments. I walked in. I sat there for a few minutes, did, the standard medical screening questions, all these things. The only thing that was different this time was that I was asked by them whether I had monkeypox. I'm like, okay, answer questions, no. So then I told them the entrance. I told them also that I needed a doctor, and they asked me if I needed a doctor, which was kind of unusual in urgent care. Because if you go there, I think you're feeling not good. So I went there, did this. Then I waited there for a few minutes. The girl come out, like a medical assistant type person comes out, and we started talking. She did her job, pulse ox, blood pressure, etc. Standard vital signs, and pulse ox because she wanted to check my oxygen saturation. I'm hard to say this word. So I sit there. She comes in and she says, "Okay, let me get the swab." So she comes up and she swabs my nose. Not too hard, but it stings because of the reagent of the medicine. Not the medicine, the active ingredient in the test, called a reagent. So then she so it goes. So she leaves and all this. She leaves. So I'm like, okay. So I'm waiting there 15, 20 minutes. The doctor comes. She comes in. Very nice. Very sweet. Very easy to deal with. Asked me some more questions about medicines, etc. Whether I was allergic to something, I go, no. Not that I know of. I never say no because something different may happen. So I'm like, okay. Okay, cool. This is going on. So then I ask her, and then she tells me, okay, you have COVID. Before this, she told me you have COVID. So we talked about the medicine, and so I'm taking this medicine. It's great. It's an antiviral. Now the experience changed here. I walked out of the urgent care with a printed prescription, which I asked her for. So okay. I walked out of there with the printed prescription. Then I went right to Walmart. At 11 a.m. I was back in the car with my dad to go to Walmart, and I picked up that medicine. Thank you to government. Thank you. I don't know who does this, but the medicine is free of charge. So I went there. Okay, so I pick up the medicine and do some. I pick up cough drops and some more cough medicine that I had because I wanted extra. So so I came home and I immediately took this medicine. How you take this medicine to me is a bit unusual. You take this medicine for 5 days, 6 pills a day. As of today, when I'm recording this medicine, I finished my last course, or my last 3 pills last night. You have to take it every 12 hours for this to work. So I took this medicine religiously. I took it. I feel so much better. So why I recommend urgent care? Well, for COVID issues. One, okay, if I don't think I need to wait for 3 to 4 hours for a test result and then send them to a doctor. So let me go back a little bit to what I feel. So I went there. I also had the pharmacist explain to me again how to take it. I take a cholesterol medication, a statin. I had to stop the statin. I will start the statin again tomorrow because they say that some adverse side effects that can be really bad happen. So, but I'm happy with urgent care because the way it works is you have no appointments. You come right in, you get your stuff done, and you go home. You go to the pharmacy or go home. I prefer to go to the pharmacy, pick up my medicine. I started taking it the same day, and I am now feeling better. I still have a few symptoms because, like a cold, because I still have to wait for the body to finish fighting this stuff. It is something that's not easy to do. But thank you, MD Now. Thank you for being around close enough to me that I could just go to you. And it's something that I really appreciate urgent care, and I appreciate that my insurance they take it because it's important to me. I needed it rapid. I wanted something fast, and I got that. I hope never to have to do another COVID-related thing. With that, thank you for listening, and I'm going to give you my email. ke4key@gmail.com. The reason I'm giving you that email now is for you guys to forward me, contacting me for this or any other episode. Please rate and subscribe so you can see when I post. Right now, I'm posting twice a week. Today's Tuesday. I am posting this now, and then I post Wednesday and Saturday, both 7 a.m.s. With that, thank you for listening.